Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Village of Oak Lawn Board of Trustees regular meeting agenda. We are meeting here in the Village Hall Auditorium, 9446 South Raymond Avenue. This is meeting number 2023-19. It is Tuesday, November 14th, 2023, and it is exactly at 7:30. Call to order, please. Roll.
Mayor Vorderer.
Present.
Trustee Stalker.
Here.
Trustee Desmond.
Here.
Trustee Soch.
Here.
Trustee Pembroke.
Here.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Here.
Trustee Mallo.
Here.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and the board. Veterans may salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll move on to public comments. I understand we have 7 people that want to speak today. You have 3 minutes. Madam Clerk, call the first.
Dale Kazmarek.
Welcome, Ms. Casimir. Are you an Oak Lawn resident?
Yes, I've been an Oak Lawn resident since 1976.
Thank you, sir.
I'm also a member of I reside in the 3rd District and also a U.S. Army veteran.
I see that. Welcome.
Thank you. I've come before the board today to express my concerns about regarding the train whistles on 95th Street, 54th Avenue, and Cook Avenue. For decades, residents of the 3rd District have been annoyed by loud train whistles at all hours of the day and night. Finally, something was done recently to stop the whistles. Signs were put up, and apparently Metro and freight trains were obviously notified of the cessation. It was a great relief to people in the 3rd District. And now suddenly they've commenced again. I did email my trustee with the times and hours as he suggested, and he wrote, and I questioned this about this, and he did write back and said that Oak Lawn is a quiet zone. This was apparently elevated up to the chain of command to the village manager, and he stated that no train whistles is not the it's not the case, due to the dense population of the people. My question is then why for the past several months did I and others never hear a single train whistle? He mentions a car being struck on Kilbourne, where a car went around the crossing guards and commuters apparently crossing in front of trains when they stopped at 52nd Avenue. While the accident is a tragedy, and that's why we have crossing guards, to keep that from happening. And commuters basically should have more common sense and step in front of a train instead of crossing there. An engineering technician stated that there is platform construction taking place on 52nd Avenue, and by law, the trains are supposed to blow the whistles, which is understandable. Maybe he and the board could then be able to explain why trains sound their whistles still at 12:45 a.m. when there are no workers present. Also, if it's a law, then why do only certain trains announce their arrival and others don't? Not that I want any more train whistles. He then replied that that is up to the operator's discretion on whether the whistle needs to be blown. So basically, my question is, what was the purpose of installing signs that will not be obeyed and only by some? The train platform construction is supposed to be finished in December, according to the emails that I received. Do we then go back to a quiet zone at that time? And if not, why not? I think there needs to be, it needs to be addressed to the residents of Oak Lawn and especially to the 3rd District. We need some clarity as to what is going on and whether we will go back to being a quiet zone. Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. I can understand the aggravation of those train whistles. I live miles from the track, and when my window's open, I hear them too early in the morning. So we'll look into that, sir. Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Bob. I'm not sure the pronunciation of your last name,
Yeah,
Bob.
Bob, would you?
I'm sorry.
Pronounce your last name, and are you an Oak Lawn resident?
I am Bob Mamroth, Robert Mamroth.
Okay.
I've been an Oak Lawn resident for 39 years.
Welcome.
And the reason I'm here to talk about the property formerly known as St. Louis de Montfort. I'm not here to talk about issues of race, creed, or color, or religious persuasion. I'm just concerned as a resident of the village that proper actions will be taken regarding the proposed social center that is proposed in our area. I don't even care if there's been federal indictments made against any individual. That's really not an issue here. What is at issue is the safety and security of the neighbors. And you may be aware that there's limited parking in the property. Not many cars are able to go there, and very few can go in the residential neighborhood just to the west of the building. I have good friends that live there, and they're very concerned about parking in front of their driveways and blocking their entranceways. I'm concerned whether the board is willing to commit the assets of the Oak Lawn Police Department for safety and security, for dealing with parking issues, for dealing with traffic conditions, if there's a great number of people that are using this facility. As you're probably aware, anytime you go to like 92nd and Harlem, there's always big traffic congestions at 1:30 in the afternoon when hundreds of people are coming out of the facilities located behind the Menard Center. That's my concern, and I bring that to your attention.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next.
Cindy Lally? Is that correct?
Good evening, ma'am. Would you, your name, and are you an Oak Lawn resident?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Cindy Lally. I live behind St. Louis de Montfort
Okay.
Church. On October 16th, the zoning board voted no to a special permit to be granted. I feel the zoning board got this right. They did their homework, they asked the right questions, and a process was followed. They felt a special permit should not be granted. I ask you all to please do not overturn this, please.
Thank you.
Nancy Bourne?
Good evening, Ms. Bourne. Are you an Oak Lawn resident?
I am for
Thank you.
over 40 years. Pretty much, I'm going to reiterate what she had said. There's procedures. The Village of Oak Lawn has put a Planning and Zoning Board Committee together, and I feel that they've done their homework through many, many meetings, and they've asked questions, and they weren't satisfied. So it was their recommendation that this rezoning not be approved. I, too, would ask that it stays and that the board supports the Planning and Zoning Board decision not to approve the rezoning. I live right behind St. Louis de Montfort as well. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you, Ms. Bourne.
Mike Daly?
Good evening, Mr. Daly. Are you an Oak Lawn resident?
For over 30 years. I'm also concerned about that property. I'd like it to stay residential, kind of help out with the village. Maybe we get some tax dollars, and then also maybe just have some commercial property right on Ridgeland there also. So I'm like everybody else. I just like it to stay residential and see some homes go on that property.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Tim Pender?
Mr. Penner, are you an Oak Lawn resident?
I am for over 45 years. We applaud the Planning and Zoning Board for listening to our concerns and thinking about everything that we are concerned about, which, number one, was traffic. Traffic was a problem when it was St. Louis de Montfort, and we think if this continues, it'll be a problem again. So we would hope that the village board would follow the lead of the Planning and Development Board. So, thank you. And I got one more thing to say. Oak Lawn houses got reassessed, and everybody's getting their assessments now. Assessments went up 40 to 60%, even higher. So if you might want to contact the Cook County Board of Review to get somebody to come out here to have an outreach to so that people could file complaints, I mean, not complaints, appeals for their assessments.
I'm going to touch on that on the matters of the president.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Jeff Seiss?
Hi, Jeff. Are you an Oak Lawn resident?
Yeah, over 30 years.
Okay, good.
District 1, went to St. Louis de Montfort as a graduate. Traffic's always been terrible. I've lived in the area, the westward side. I mean, it's no joke, 87th and Ridgeland, that intersection's terrible. People will do anything they can just to get around it. You get 40-mile-an-hour cars coming down Nashville all day. I would just like to, the board to consider the thought of what the zoning committee said. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That is the end of public comments.
Thank you, thank you. All right, we're going to move on here to the Fall Music Festival donations and presentations. Trustee Mallo, who heads the committee, will handle this. Paul?
I'm going to move down here just to kind of.
Sure.
Borrow that microphone. Is this on? Yeah, very good. Hey, thanks. Just for the board's knowledge, the biggest part of our fall festival is the donations that we make to the charities. It was very successful. It's been successful for years. We really look forward to the residents coming, having a good time, spending their money, hard-earned money that they have, and at the end of the day, we are able to make large donations to the charity. So we have some checks here. We're going to bring up one person, maybe two of each of the charities to kind of speak about their charity, just to kind of let the residents know where that money goes to. So is Park Lawn here, Mark or Maureen? Okay, come on up.
Hi, thank you.
Very good.
My name is Mark Dinya. I am the marketing manager and volunteer coordinator for Park Lawn. Just want to thank you guys for doing this for all these couple of years. Park Lawn, as you know, serves people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, all the way from mild disabilities to profound disabilities. Many locations. We just recently closed down our 111th location, selling it to the village, and opening up 3 new locations for our Choice and Discover programs. So this money will come in hand, and also for our Connections program in the Oak Lawn building, which is on 108th and LaPorte, that you guys probably drive by all the time and wonder what's going on there. So, but we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. I think a lot of times people with disabilities are often forgotten about and thought their needs are not always met. But the Village of Oak Lawn always stands true and stands by all the community and the residents of Oak Lawn. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll do the pictures and the checks right after everybody talks, okay? So second charity is the Courage Program, Molly O'Grady.
Hi, good evening. Thank you again for having us and supporting our ministry. For those in the audience that don't know what Courage does, since 1980, we have been a volunteer organization that helps single mothers with infants and children. We provide all necessary baby care items. We help financially with education. We help with economic and social development, parenting skills, stuff like that. We spend a good portion, if not all, of the money that we get from the Village of Oak Lawn on keeping our moms in stable housing. Whether that be paying their rent, their utilities, or security deposits. A lot of them we're keeping in motels, or keeping them, giving them money for bills. So without the support of Oak Lawn, a lot of mothers would be affected. Thank you very much for your support. We're very grateful.
Thanks, Molly. The last group is our Live Like Abbey group. Live Like Abbey is personal to me. I knew Abbey, and this group has really done good things in the Village of Oak Lawn from from Colmar to OLHMS to Richards. So Brian Wujek, are you going to come speak for, thank you.
Hey, Brian.
Hi, my name is Brian Wujek. I'm here on behalf of my brother Kevin and my sister-in-law Kristen and a couple other board members that we have in the audience here, Kim Bohannick and Gary Godino. Abbey passed away 10 years ago from a glioblastoma, which is an inoperable form of brain tumor. She would be a freshman in college right now, should she have survived. And we really appreciate the support of the Village of Oak Lawn and District 123 and everything that you guys have done for us in trying to find a treatment for pediatric brain cancer. When Abbey was diagnosed, the only types of treatments that we had at the time were those that were tested and performed on adults. And for children, the survival rate was not very good. So what we've done with Live Like Abbey, we have partnered with the John McNicholas Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, and we are trying to find and fund studies, treatments that are more suitable for children. And I'm happy to announce that my brother Kevin called me yesterday and said that there are 2 studies that he and Kristen have been presented with that we are going to evaluate to see if we can fund them. So this money here is going to go directly toward funding a study to help, I'm not going to say cure pediatric brain cancer, but at least treat it in children. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I get each of the charities to come up, and we're going to take a picture with the checks and hand out the checks. Mayor, if you can come down and take that picture too. First one is Park Lawn. We were able to donate $15,000 to Park Lawn. Live Like Abbey, we were able to donate $10,000.
Can you put that check in a knife deposit?
It'd take a while to hold it up.
Not Ben.
Yeah, make the check small. I do have
Can we
checks.
do that? Can you step back up here? Maybe we can, did they leave?
No, we're here. We're cashing the check already.
There you go. They-
Putting it right into window. Brian, Lee.
Come on, I'll come up here. Come, I have the checks in my hand. These won't cash. I'm sorry. Okay. Before you leave.
I'd like to just let everybody know that these festivals and these checks take no taxpayer money. This is all paid for from the proceeds of the festivals. We do our summer programs on the greens with music. We make these donations, and again, none of this money comes from taxpayer-funded people. It's just profits from the events. So congratulations again to everybody. Okay, our next agenda item is our Halloween house decoration winners. This is the first year that we've done this. It was pretty successful. People are doing more and more Halloween decorations, and hopefully we can encourage more next year as we modify the program and create new winners. So, Paul, would you like to handle
Sure.
that?
Thanks, Mayor. Just a little backstory on this. The mayor received an email, basically from a resident. So this all started with just one simple email. He reached out to our Arts and Events Commission. We pushed it through. The village did a fabulous job getting on this very, very quickly. From the time that email went out to the time that we were able to post about the contest. And we had a tremendous amount of houses. I'll tell you, I drove the houses. There was a lot of them to go see. So the Village of Oak Lawn loves Halloween, and they came out. So we have 6 of the winners here tonight. We had 3 categories. We had most creative, most frightfully fun, and the judge's favorite. So what I'm going to do is they have no idea. They're here. They had some cupcakes downstairs earlier. So I'm going to bring up the 2, and then we'll announce the winner. We have a certificate for the runner-up as well. So the most creative was Sarah Bandmeyer with Bandits Bay and Smith's Grove Cemetery, Timothy Smith. So if you guys can all kind of come up here, and then we can kind of have. And this was Bandits Bay is at 4608 West 100th Place, and Smith's Grove Cemetery is at 8720 South 55th Avenue. Oh, I forgot to mention, Justin from Midnight Terror was tremendous help in this situation. So do we have, okay, so is this everybody? Or is this? This is all Smith, okay. So is Sarah here? No, okay. Well, I guess that's okay, because Timothy Smith, Smith's Grove Cemetery was the winner of the most creative. So. Okay. Very cool. You want to hold it on?
You want to hold that out? We'll take some pictures.
Close together like your friend. I'm not gonna be on the backdrop.
Okay, thank you. So I have, Mr. All right, that's you.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
Thank
very
you.
good. That's 2 more. See these? So Bandits Bay was our runner-up. So the second one was most frightfully fun. Rick and Care Herpich and Jacqueline Gosnell, Gruesome Graveyard, and Crazy Corner. Can you guys come up? Rick and Care are at 6248 West 94th Street, and the Gosnells are at 9128 South 54th Avenue. And the winner this year was Rick and Care Crazy Corner, most frightfully fun. And here, why don't you grab this too? And our runner-up was Gruesome Graveyard. Is that right? Yep. Very good. Here you go. Come on. Congratulations.
It's a lot of fun, ain't it? And the weather's better for Halloween than Christmas.
Okay, very good. Congratulations. Last one. This has been a night. So the last one was Judge's favorite, and the final 2 were Sarah Januszewski and Jenny Oaks, Coven on Brannet, and the Haunted Barons. If you guys can come up. And the winner of 2023 was Haunted Barons, Sarah Januszewski. Very good. We spelled judges correctly this time. We did.
right, too.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you're
Yeah.
here, okay. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Okay. And get this-
Thank you.
very good. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we move on now with our agenda. Does any trustee have any conflict with anything on this agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to the approval of the regular meeting minutes of 2023-18 dated October 24th, 2023. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call?
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Soch?
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke?
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak?
Yes.
Trustee Mallo?
Yes.
Motion passes. 9 is the appeal of an adverse decision by the Zoning and Planning Commission for 2-4-1 vote to approve for a special use permit to allow a community center, social gathering, tutoring, weekend school, food pantry, after-school programs, cultural events, and interfaith programs in a single-family R1 zone district at 8840 South Ridgeland Avenue. The Chicago Islamic Center is the petitioner.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I received a request from the attorney for the petitioner this afternoon asking to continue the appeal to the board's meeting of January 9th, 2024. I would recommend that that request be granted, and that at this time, a motion to continue the appeal to that date and time at this location be made.
Thank you, Counselor. We have do I have a motion to continue this to January 9th?
Can I speak to this first?
Well,
Usually
you
there's
can
a
speak to it after the motion and the second, and I'll ask for comments. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a
For
second.
first?
Conversation?
We didn't get the
Who
motion.
was the first?
Oh, nobody made the motion
I moved to postpone it
to January 9th.
till January 9th.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Okay, conversation or discussion? Tim?
There has been a lot of discussion and meetings over this. I mean, we are asked here tonight to vote on the information that was already provided, on the decision that was made by the Planning and Development Committee on the information they got. We're not asking for any new information here tonight. We're not asking for any new presentations to be made. We are being asked to vote on the information that was already given. So I don't see the point in continuing this. People all spoke, the petitioners here. We're ready to vote on this issue.
Mr. Mayor, can I add?
Sure.
Village Manager Tom Phelan, when did we get this request from their legal counsel?
I did not receive it, the attorney.
My office received the request. It was late this afternoon, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock this afternoon. So, and we've all been watching the great job that our committees have done with continuance after continuance, requests for information. I think they've thoroughly vetted. I think they've made a decision. I am prepared to vote on what the decision should be, in my opinion, based off of the facts that were drawn up in these committee meetings. And I'm a little bit concerned about what is the overall thought process of somebody that is asking for us to follow procedures, and then in the fourth quarter, in the last 20 seconds of a game, is asking for a timeout. It just doesn't set well with me. And then the continuance they're asking for is to go all the way into January. Doesn't make sense to me. I'm a little bit confused by that.
The explanation that was given to me was that the attorney was recently retained and hasn't been able to prepare for the appeal, and that the petitioner will be unavailable and out of the country during our December meetings. That's what was told to me, and beyond that, I can't talk about anybody's.
And the commission met and made their decision when?
October 16th.
October 16th, and today is what? November 14th. And they were told at that point that they would have a right to appeal, which they did come into the village and file an appeal, I believe.
Yes, they did.
So they knew what the process was, and now I'm confused why they're looking for a continuance.
I can't tell you any more than what was told to me, sir.
All right, any other
Well,
comments?
yeah, while this isn't something that we are happy with or happy about, I think it's imperative on our part that we follow the advice of our legal team. And if he's suggesting that we should table this or move it to January, I'm of the opinion that we have to do what's right. They have a right to be able to represent themselves at a public hearing.
Well, I believe they did that several times.
I understand the process isn't great for everybody, but
The process works if it's followed correctly.
All right, we, the comment, we're not going to argue about it, making comments. Any other trustee with a comment? Hearing no other comment, we have a motion to continue this to January 9th. Roll call, please.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
No.
Trustee Soch.
No.
Trustee Pembroke.
yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
No.
Trustee Mallo.
No.
Motion fails.
The motion fails to continue it to January 9th. So now, should I reread this? Because we're going to call for a vote on this now.
Well, the petitioner filed an appeal. They're entitled to come and present their case.
Okay, is somebody here from here that would like to speak? Yes, sir. Please step up to the podium. How are you, sir?
Hello, how you doing? Good evening, gentlemen and gentlewomen. The idea behind the appeal, the postponing, we never get the argument why the Commission of Zoning and Planning, they moved to deny the case. I went to the village website. I never find any minutes, and I was trying to get these minutes. I never get it, and our attorney, he want those minutes to understand why being denied, so he could come in here and be prepared. This is the idea behind it. So we never get the minutes behind it. So that's the motion. We did everything that the Commission on Planning Zoning Committee, they asked for. They asked for full traffic study. We did a full traffic study. We did the rendering. We explained everything. As a matter of fact, one of the engineers of the traffic study was here to show how much is the traffic, because the idea of the whole thing, it was about traffic study. We want to put a whole fence so nobody will cross to the residential area. So this way, nobody will park by the residential or cross from Ridgeland to the residential. And also, we're going to have more lighting, cameras, landscaping, and also we're going to have the entrance, visualize the exit. Everything will be clear. And the traffic, this place been a church. It's been a non-for-profit before. And the amount of people who are bringing is less than 30% to what is the church used to bring. We have about 3-4 functions that we are doing. Like we have a youth program, we have a senior citizen program, we have a food pantry program, and those people is less than 50 to 60 people that come in, and we've been serving the Oaklawn community for the last 15 years. I've been in Oaklawn at least for 35 years. We've been doing great work with different communities and villages. What we're trying to do here is to bring more services to the some of the trustees and the mayor attending our functions on Oaklawn. We're trying to do the best we can to help the community and do whatever it takes to make the service the best way we can. They ask us to do a fence, and we have no problem to close the street completely to the neighbors, so nobody will cross from Ridgeland to this. They ask us to put a fence. We are ready to put a fence. As a matter of fact, we gave them the contract to start putting the fence. They ask us to need more lighting. We said we have no problem. So whatever they ask us, we went along with it. I'm not sure what's the idea. We never get the idea why we've been denied to do this. If this is about traffic study, we're not getting that much traffic. and they ask us that we're going to have recommendations from the commission itself to the trustees that in case they've been approved, these are recommendations. We are ready to come back after 1 year and to show what we have been doing. And if we are, go above the limit or above what we asked for, we are ready to come and also to sit down or take permission for any other extra things. So we're trying to do the best we can with the village. This is, I'm trying to see if our attorney could appear in January 9. That'll be great. So we have more information why the commission took this decision. We never get those information yet. It's not on the website, and there's no minutes. We get the website. We have the minutes up to October, I think September meeting. This is the. If you have any questions, I could answer your questions.
I think I can address the minutes issue. I think because of your desire to appeal it as quickly as you did, the commission that you went before has to meet again to approve those minutes. So they're not yet approved, which would explain why you don't see them on the website. I think, Tom, I don't know if you
I
can.
understand. Then we have the time to wait for the minutes and look into it and appeal it on January 9.
That's, your answer, Mr. Phelan, is correct. There's no request that I'm aware of for the draft minutes
No.
either, so.
I mean, nobody made those requests of us, and I hope you can appreciate the frustration that, we've been working hard. Nobody disputes the good work that you do. Nobody, we've had many discussions about that.
You're doing great.
Exactly, and it's really a procedural matter. If I could ask, one of the concerns that we've been having is, it's been well known that there's a special use assigned to the property. And back in December of 2022, when we were made aware of potential sale of the property, I called the Archdiocese broker and spoke to him specifically about this issue and made sure that, because I didn't ask who the bidders were, we were aware of one because we had been meeting with those people, but I specifically talked with him to say, please make sure that whoever buys the property understands there's a special use. And that broker adamantly told me that the Archdiocese absolutely is making sure that potential bidders know, and in fact, they said, we'll only entertain purchase bids from people who've received that assurance. I just was curious if that was ever communicated to your group, or if the Archdiocese did not communicate that, because that's been a recurring question we've had. We went out of our way to make sure the Archdiocese was aware. And it's unfortunate because it seems that you purchased the property before you came and talked about the special use. So I just was curious if somebody from the Archdiocese has told you to do that.
We understand, but this has already been a church. And it's about 3-4 churches sold in the same time. The one in hometown on 89 and Cicero, and it's converted right away to be a place of worship. So being a place of worship, I talked to many people who are, and many legal things, this is a place where you could do the same thing.
When the church went in there, it required the special use. That's why it existed. It's a residential zoned area. When the church closed, after 90 days, that special use went away. And it was closed for 2 or 3 years. So again, I think it's important to note the Archdiocese here, whether or not they communicated this. I wanted you to know that the village, not knowing who the bidders were, we made sure to tell them that that was a very important thing that they should have conveyed to people who were making bids on the property.
I might point out that here in Oak Lawn, all churches are zoned residential, correct, Tom? With special use?
It's a special use provision.
Right, so this property is not unique to that zoning requirement.
The one other thing that is, things you brought up that about the Archdiocese is that there was another, well, according to this realtor, there were 6 offers on it, but only one actually came into the village. They inquired about special use. When he was told that, yes, he could do what he wanted to do that, which was build residential, he then gave a letter of intent and a full price offer to the Archdiocese. And yet, so they sold it to you, who needed a zoning change, and yet the people that actually did not need a zoning change and gave the same offer, they declined their offer. So that's, nothing to do with us, but I would be questioning the Archdiocese on why they would do that. I mean, it has nothing to do with the decision here, but it's just something that I'm curious about.
I mean, I think they have specifications. They need a place to stay away from. Let's say they have lots of what you call it, conditions. They don't want a portion place. They don't want a tattoo place. They have about 20 items in there, and we go along with this.
Yeah, they got two full price offers. So I believe one from you that needed a zoning change, and one from the developer who did not need a zoning change. And here we are.
We work with lots of Christians community. As a matter of fact, some Christians come to our mosque and they pray too. We are not doing it as a mosque ourselves. We are not doing a place of worship. We are doing it just to increase the capacity of people, youth programs, senior citizen programs. This place being closed for 3 years. I mean, if there's somebody with a search, you could have bought it a long time ago. We just, bought it after 3 years of closure. Now, when we bought it now,
That's not accurate. It wasn't for sale for 3 years, and Trustee Desmond can speak to this. When it went for sale, there was interest immediately, because we did take calls, 3 different calls. It was closed, vacant for 3 years, but not for sale. And Trustee Desmond received many complaints over the last 2 years that he forwarded to me from residents that were complaining that it wasn't being kept up by the Archdiocese, that they were alleging that St. Gerald's was in charge of the upkeep, but St. Gerald says, no, we're not. I mean, if you recall, Trustee Desmond, a lot of back and forth from the residents who were rightly concerned that the property was falling into disrepair, but it wasn't for sale because we kept asking, why don't you just sell it, right? To someone like you or somebody who could do better use with it.
as far as I know, they said they have at least 10 contracts on it, 10 people who are ready to purchase it. And, we have 2 vandalism already in the place. 2 vandalism. It's vacant building. It's good for, for crimes and things like this. We're trying to get this building going, do the best we can to look the best, the best, and these things going on. Otherwise, it's
Mr. Mayor?
2 times vandalism.
Yes.
The business before us is to appeal an adverse decision by the Zoning and Planning Commission. The Zoning and Planning Commission met a minimum of 5 times, and this discussion has gone on in Zoning and Planning. It's coming to the village board for a request for the appeal of it. The facts that are behind all the meetings I went through, and I will tell you that I give kudos to the Zoning and Planning Commission because they vetted a lot of things. There's a lot of information that they did a great job with, a lot of information that is in the body of that minutes. And I believe that they made the decision based off of the facts that were presented to them. You had every opportunity during those meetings to voice any concerns, ask any questions that you had ability to ask, and now you're asking us for a decision on, or to make it a reverse of the Planning and Development Commission's decision. That's the business that's before us.
Yeah, but those meetings at the commission, they were not, let's say, going back and trying to convince them. They were asking for more stuff. The first meeting is just explain what we're gonna do there. Said it's fine. We need rendering. We did the rendering. Said we need then a traffic study. We went back. We did traffic study. Said no, traffic study is a small one. We need a full traffic. We went down. We went full traffic study. They were not discussing.
I've read every.
It just need more and more and more. We keep getting those information, and at the end they said, they don't have really a strong argument why they denied. I didn't see any argument. If the increase of the increase of the traffic, I don't see traffic. The traffic at the time of the church was much more than what we are going to bring in. We are not going to be like 92nd and Harlem. You keep bringing this issue.
Sir,
We are not
I fully understand what you're stating, but all of that information is in the minutes, and all that was covered in the meetings, and we rely upon these boards to vet fully and to make a decision. They've made a decision.
They make a decision. We discussing this many times. They never discussed. They never told us why they are denying. We told them many times what you wanted. Do this. We did it. Do this. We did it. We did everything they asked for. I'm sorry. There's about eight commissioners. I didn't see no women, no young people there. We need fresh. We are in a city with 20% of Oak Lawn are diversity or 30% diversity. So we have to also to get into this. We have a lot of you who are doing business in Oak Lawn. We are spending money, millions of dollars. It's just every month there is a business open in Oak Lawn. And
Mr. Mayor, point of order.
Yes.
What is the motion on the floor and what was the vote?
Well, the motion is to override, to support.
There is
There is no
currently a
motion.
Postpone.
There's no motion on the floor. There was a motion to continue the appeal, which was denied, so the appeal proceeded. And this gentleman is here appealing the decision of the Zoning and Planning Commission.
Okay, well, I will make the motion to deny the appeal.
I second.
Discussion on the motion? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee
Just to be clear,
Stalker.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Can you just explain once again what a yes or no vote will mean?
Well,
Yes.
okay, yes, go ahead.
Want me to do that?
Sure.
A motion to deny the appeal would be to deny the appeal and adopt the recommendation of the Zoning and Planning Commission, which was to deny the special use.
Which would be a yes vote.
Yes vote.
If you're voting yes on this, the motion is to deny. So if you vote yes, you're saying, yes, I want to deny, and I want to deny the special use. That's what a yes vote means.
Thank you.
Everybody clear?
Okay. Roll call, please.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Soch.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Mallo.
Yes.
I'm sorry, sir. The board has voted to not approve the rezoning.
I understand, but I'm not sure why, till now, I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, we do want to go the legal way, but it's
I would point out, sir,
Unfortunate.
that what the village board just did was deny your appeal
Yes.
and adopt the decision of the Zoning and Planning Commission, which was included written findings of fact and minutes which were available on the village's website when tonight's agenda was posted. So those documents are available, and that information is and has been available. And the reasons why the ZPC denied your special use are stated in writing, and that's what this board just adopted.
I mean, I got, the attorney was planning to come tonight, and everybody was planning to come tonight, till they spoke with the attorney, and they said, we are gonna postpone this till we are January 9. That's why I'm by myself.
Sir,
Otherwise,
that is not what I said.
Yes.
I told your attorney, and I told him in writing, that I would recommend that the continuance be granted. I did that. I didn't promise him the continuance would be granted. I didn't agree to granting a continuance. I told him I would recommend it, and I did what I said I would do. And this board, as was its right, decided to not grant the continuance. And they had the hearing, and you presented your case, and the board has made its decision. So this agenda item is now over.
I present my case because you have no choice. I mean, otherwise I want to continue it. That's what it is. I mean, you make me to present the case. Otherwise, I want my attorney to present it when we have full study on this.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Okay.
Smith.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, now if you're here for that particular agenda item, we're moving on to the regular board. I'll give you a couple of minutes if you want to leave. Or if you want to stay around, you're welcome to stay. We'll move on with new business for trustees. District 1, Tim Desmond.
I was actually going to mention about the assessments that just came out that one of the residents mentioned earlier, but I believe you're going to speak about it later.
Well, I was going to speak to it, but I certainly wouldn't.
No, that's okay.
Trustee?
I will gladly move.
Okay, thank you. District 2, Trustee
I just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and again, a happy Veterans Day. I know that it was a nice celebration on the green, and I'm sure that the mayor is going to talk about that. But I wish you and your family a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving. That concludes my
Thank you. Thank you, Trustee. District 3, Trustee Mallo.
Thank you, Mayor. Echo what Trustee Olejniczak said. I wish everyone in Oak Lawn, every resident, all our business community, a blessed, happy Thanksgiving. Veterans Day was fabulous. I think they did a great job. The VFW always does a great job out there, bringing in I believe, one of our employees' uncle, who was 103 years old. That was amazing. World War II veteran, so, and he was able to get up and speak, right? So
Yeah.
apparently he still drives, so if you're 103 and you're still driving, that's pretty good, right, Chief?
You know, I met this gentleman, I was taking a can for some donations for disabled American veterans back in August. I was in the Jewel parking lot at 103rd Street, and this guy comes up to me, puts some money in the can, he says, I'm a World War II veteran. And I says, get out of here. I says, you gotta be 97 years old. This guy walked across the parking lot almost at a run. He went shopping. He said, I'm 103 years old. I says, we got to honor you. So at our Memorial Day event, which was well attended, I might point it out, you know, this country has woke up to the fact that you can be against the conflicts and the wars, but you can't be against the men and women who have served this country and protected our freedom. And to have the opportunity, because, you know, these World War II guys are getting pretty rare these days. It was just a great event. I think, thanks for bringing it up, Paul.
Sure.
I don't have to mention it now. I talked about it. Thank you.
Thank
Okay, District 4.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate, Mayor, that it was a great VFW celebration Saturday, and it was wonderful to see all the residents that came out for the celebration. So
Yeah, it's really impressive.
that's all I have, yeah. It was great.
Trustee,
Yeah, thank you.
Stalker. Trustee 5.
It was great to hear about Park Lawn and the Courage Program, Live Like Abbey today. We are very fortunate in this village to have so many socially conscious people to try to live and work for the betterment of all people, not just the rich or the famous or anything else. We have a lot of people, a lot for all the people that need it the most. And with that in mind, this is not the same organization, but I wanted to bring another group that's formed in the village of Oak Lawn to your attention. It's called Acorns to Oak Studio. Most of the communities our size of Oak Lawn have a brilliant artistic and cultural community within it. A small group of residents felt that Oak Lawn should have its own creative center too, so they're working to do this. Acorn to Oak Studios is an independent, non-for-profit, non-affiliated with any religious, political group or organization. They are renovating a former two-story preschool on the Pilgrim Faith campus at 51st Avenue and 94th Street in the center of town. They offer a unique, creative programming for children and adults of all skills and levels of art and music. In the past year, they've had several ongoing courses they offer and are now looking to really pump up their teenage program, including after-school activities and classes for teens. They offer studio art classes, open studio sessions, from live model, voice, and music lessons, and have special events, too, like the recent Lantern Parade. They partnered with the library on their tiny art project, and we're looking forward to additional partnerships throughout the community. The people behind Acorn Oaks Studio may be familiar with some of you. The president is Andrea Zumhagen, and has served our Arts Events Commission as president and is president of SWORD PTSA. Vice president is Clayton J. Beck III, is a nationally acclaimed local figurative artist and a product of Oak Lawn's St. Germain Parish. Treasurer Joseph Kabinski is a longtime treasurer of the village of Oak Lawn. He has a long-standing board membership of the Oak Lawn Library. Secretary is Julie Miller, who is formerly long-serving executive director of the Oak Lawn Chamber of Commerce. Other board members include Dr. Sandra Berry, who is a local business owner and served as 8 years as the mayor of the village, and Linda Vorder, who you may know is somewhat related to someone on the board, is also part of the organization, the leadership organization. She is a certified educator and a longtime art instructor at Queen of Peace. If you would like to check out Acorn to Oak, they have a Facebook page, and I'd love you to check it out. They're doing a great job for the village of Oak Lawn, and they're adding their hard work to some of the other charities that we've already given awards to. That's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Trustee Soch?
Just wanted to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving, and again, build a little on the comments about Veterans Day. The gentleman that was honored, Ray Pavicek, is an Oak Lawn resident, lives right behind Jewel, and was very thrilled to be honored. The mayor says he's got such a quick wit and sense of humor, and he was truly honored to be, acknowledged that day. So it was a good day. That's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee. Village Manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I know you're going to address the property tax issue. I just want to let everybody know, too, that the next issue of Oak Lawn Matters, our newsletter, or magazine, actually, that goes out twice a year, is going to hit home second week of December. And in each issue, we do highlight and break down how your taxes are allocated across the various governing bodies. Frequently, the village will hear from people complaining about taxes in Oak Lawn, and as a former trustee for several years and a member of this body for almost 20, it's one of my proudest things to be a part of, to say that our property tax levy has been either stable or reduced, I would say 15 or 16 out of the last 17 years. And when it's been increased, it's been very marginal. And we just had a budget meeting this evening, several of the management staff, and it looks like we're going to hold the line on property taxes again this year. It'd be great if others would do the same. We frequently lament the fact that we think some people take advantage of the fact that what this board does allows others to raise taxes, but it is a problem, especially for our commercial businesses, looking at 30 and 40% tax increases. It's already tough enough to survive, and we survive on the tax revenues we get from our business base. So it's a major issue. I know the mayor's going to speak about it, but for those who are looking for more detail, look for that Oak Lawn Matters edition hitting homes sometime in middle of December. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Mayor, just one more thing. Are you going to speak about Worth Township tax?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to briefly touch on the difference between a tax bill and a reassessment and how they can appeal that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Through Worth Township. It's not just go to the Worth Township takes, you can go to a Worth Township as a resident of the township and get their information as to how they think best you should appeal your taxes. And it's a really good idea to do that. Whether you go on beyond that or not, take advantage of Worth Township and what they do for you.
You know, Trustee, as long as we're talking about taxes, I'll just move my comments up to now.
Okay.
You know, you recently got a thing in the mail where your property was reassessed its value. That occurs every 3 years in Cook County. The county's portioned off in each year. Now, that assessment reflects the value of your property and the increase that has happened over the past 3 years. And you can argue with that, but generally your property increasing is a good thing, okay? Now, about Christmas time, you're going to get your tax bill. Okay, and that's the bottom line. Now, your reassessment is not going to be reflected in this tax bill. You'll see that in 2023 tax bill. But as the trustee said, you can appeal, okay, that assessed value on your property at the Worth Township building, which is 117th and Cicero, and they'll do comparables to your property, to your neighbor's property, and try to get it straight. You know, nobody wants to pay taxes. I get it. Nobody wants to pay property taxes. I get it. But as a resident who's paid them for years, and we're all going to pay property tax bills on this board, the same as the people in the audience, I always felt that those property taxes are probably the best tax you pay. They provide the services closest to your home. They give you the police. They give you the fire. They take care of your streets. They provide good schools. And now it's our responsibility to keep those costs and those budgets things down as low as we can. And I've been up here, too, as long as you have, Tom. We have worked very, very hard, and we're working on it now, on budgets to provide all those wonderful services that make Oak Lawn the community we all want to live in. And at the same time, do it conscious of the fact that property taxes hurt. So please keep that in mind. It isn't the Village of Oak Lawn when you get that property tax. We're one of 16 taxing bodies on that property tax bill. And I think basically when you pay your property tax, you're providing about $12.5 million to the Village of Oak Lawn to operate this city out of what, a $80 million budget?
Yeah, we're roughly 10 to 11% of the total bill.
You're right. And, you know, the reason that we can do that is the vibrant business community we have in this town. And that's why this board, recognizing that at our last board meeting for the second year in a row, waived their licensing fee because they are the green which keeps Oak Lawn going. And we want to encourage new business. We want to bring them to this town, and we want to reward the business. So when you look at your property tax bill, don't take it out on me, don't take it out on this board. Take it out if you feel you need to take it out on those other taxing bodies which raise their rates, okay, pretty much religiously every year.
Just to piggyback on that, and just to, I think that's the big misconception. Everybody says, oh, Oak Lawn tax is going up. Well, the Oak Lawn portion of the tax is not going up. It's actually gone down according to this assessment.
Yes, that's because we do a great job here to trying to keep the prices.
70% of our taxes go to the schools. So if
Yeah.
you have a $10,000 tax bill, 7,000 goes to the schools, only 1,000 goes to the village.
I
And
get
out of
it.
that, we're going to make sure the police have the equipment they need to protect us and them.
Yeah.
Fire department have the equipment they need. Public works have the equipment they need to run the streets. So we have to work on that portion of it. Because
Kids are expensive.
70% of it go to 3 different schools.
I don't want to beat up the schools, Tom, because the schools are great. They're great schools here. Somebody's got to pay for them, okay?
They do, but
Yeah.
you don't need to raise it every year.
You know, yeah, but they don't have the taxing authority this board has as far as sales tax and things like that. I don't want to argue. They can make their own argument. I'm here representing the Village of Oak Lawn, but your point's well taken, okay? All right, I'll move on with the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine and brought forward at the direction of the Board of Trustees, Village Manager, or Village Committees, and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. A, request Board of Trustees approval of the Zoning and Planning Commission's recommendation for a special use permit to allow facials, esthetician services, hair, nails, macro shading, tattoo, and massage therapy in an O-zone district at 10522 South Cicero Avenue. And B, ordinance 23-1972 is an ordinance granting that special use permit to conduct that beauty salon and other assorted personal services in an O-zone district at 10522 South Cicero Avenue. C is request Board of Trustees approval of the Zoning and Planning Commission's recommendation to continue a special use permit for a 4-unit multifamily residence in an R1 zoning district at 9443 South 54th Court. D, ordinance 23-1973, an ordinance granting special use permit for a multifamily residential use and a 50% parking variation in R1 single-family resident zoning district at 9443 South 55th Court. E, ordinance 23-1974, an ordinance authorizing execution of a property purchase and sales contract and authorizing the sale by the village of certain real properties on 87th Street. F, resolution 23-1970, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of a letter of understanding with the Illinois Department of Transportation. That's the Harlem Avenue Improvement Project. G, resolution 23-1971, a resolution approving the collective bargaining agreement between the Village of Oak Lawn and the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, Chapter 309. H, Resolution 23-1972, a resolution waiving competitive bidding and approval, a proposal from Real Video Production Company for a recruitment video for the Oak Lawn Police Department. I, Resolution 23-1973, a resolution approving a contract with J&J Newell Concrete Contractors Incorporated to perform the 2024 50/50 sidewalk concrete repair program, and that is for removal and replacement of public sidewalks. J, Resolution 23-1974, a resolution approving a contract with William Quinn and Son Incorporated to perform the 2024 annual flower installation beautification program. K, Resolution 23-1975, a resolution approving a contract with Samir Landscaping, LLC, to perform the 2024 annual grass cutting and edging program. L, Resolution 23-1976, a resolution approving a contract with Smitty Tree Service Incorporated to perform the 2024 tree pruning and removal services. M, Resolution 23-1977, a resolution approving a proposal from Christopher B. Burke Engineering, LTD, for professional engineering services for the Polaris Park Stormwater Water Project. A motion, please?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to remove A and B.
A and B? Any other?
I'd like to remove G.
G? Any other? Hearing none, we are voting on removing, on all issues other than A, B, and G. Call the vote, please.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Soch.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Mallo.
Yes.
Motion approved. A, request Board of Trustees approval of the Zoning and Planning Commissioner's recommendation for a special use permit to allow facials, esthetician, I can't say that word, services, hair and nails, micro shading, tattoo, and massage therapy in an O-zone district at 10521 South Cicero Avenue. Motion?
Motion to approve, motion to approve.
Okay, second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, is Sierra White in the room? Ms. White, are you aware?
Microphone.
Come up. Can you
Step
come
up to the microphone. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are
Good,
you?
good, good.
It's my understanding that you're going to have a parlor, and you're going to operate it, is that correct?
Yes, I'm.
Okay, do you have individual chairs that are used by individual artists to, like, subcontractors?
Yeah, you saying?
Or do they work directly for you?
Oh, they're individual. They were working with me before, a few of them, but the whole point was to, we can only, do so many people ourselves. So I wanted to expand to be able to offer for other people to have their business. So it will be other people
Okay.
in there.
I just want to warn you that you do have to have a business license.
Of course.
But independent operators also would have to have a business license.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've done this at the right time because we're waiving the fee. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a license independently for each individual operator, okay?
Absolutely. I kind of take as a problem for us because it looks bad. You know what I mean? Because people going on YouTube learning everything. So us that really did the work to learn, I'm going to enforce it, trust me.
All right, with that, I'm ready to vote.
I have.
Affirmative.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, so these will be individual stations operated by licensed practitioners.
Yes.
And you understand that each and every one of those practitioners must have their own independent license. They cannot work under your license.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, because we've had problems with this at another facility.
I was made aware of that actually
Okay.
with zoning. I'm not sure where they got lost in that. Like I said, you should be licensed and insured, honestly, doing the type of work that we do.
All right, fine. I think, does that answer your question, trustee?
It does.
All right, call the vote.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Soch.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Mallo.
Motion approved.
Thank
And
you.
B is ordinance 23-1972. This is an ordinance granting that special, do we have to call a vote on that too?
Yeah.
Mayor, okay. To conduct a business, beauty salon, and other associated personal services in an all-office zoning district at 10522.
That's what we just did.
B.
This is the second.
Oh, this is B. Didn't I just read B? I just read B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the second ordinance.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Yeah.
All right, motion, please.
Motion approved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Soch.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Mallo.
Yes.
Motion approved. Congratulations, Sarah. I hope you make some money over there. Okay, good. Okay, and G is Resolution 23-1971, a resolution approving the collective bargaining agreement between the Village of Oak Lawn and the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, Chapter 309. Motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, Mayor, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit, just so the residents are aware of this. I worked with Village Manager Tom Phelan on this and suggested a property tax rebate incentive for any of the officers, the patrol officers that live and reside in Oak Lawn. As you know, we don't have a residency policy for our police officers, but the fact that we incentivize them to live in Oak Lawn is valuable, right? And we've gotten a lot of interest, and we have a lot of our officers who live in Oak Lawn, and it's an incentive for them to live here. We've got an amazing police force. You hear me in my comments many times talk about what a great job our police department does, as well as everybody on this board. This was just a little something that I thought would, be an incentive for the officers to reside in Oak Lawn and help retain the best officers around. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Trustees, sorry,
You have to go to,
did we not have, don't we have that, something like that in the books?
you have
We
to go
do-
to
we
Worth
do.
Township to get that done, or where do you have to go?
But no,
We can only
didn't
waive
have-
our
that
board.
was like a $5,000.
It's not a waiver, it's a reimbursement, and it's based on, an officer has to bring in proof of paying the tax bill, and then we'll reimburse it, subject to certain caps and limitations.
It's capped at 8,000 a year.
I think what trustee Desmond is referring to is prior to this contract, you got a one-time $6,500.
Oh, yeah, right, one time, yeah.
Closing costs if you move it in the village.
Yeah, I knew we had
That's
something.
only a one-time thing.
Okay.
This will repeat annually as long as you maintain your primary residence in Oakland.
Gotcha.
And Chief, you've already, I told trustee Soch after this was presented to them how wildly appreciative they were and how excited they are. And have we already seen some interest and perhaps even somebody buying?
We already had one of our newer officers that was living at home, and then based on pretty good ideas in the past, he purchased a condominium in Oakland.
Yeah, and one of the reasons trustee Soch referenced it, you saw on the other item H here, we're hiring a company to help with recruiting of police, because as anybody who watches the news or lives in America or anywhere else knows, it's the toughest job going. It gets harder every year. And we want to do everything we can, not only to attract people to the job, but to get them into Oak Lawn, to keep them close. And hopefully, some of this craziness will subside and we'll get back to some normalcy. But again, trustee Soch had a great idea, and it's not going to cost the village a lot of money. And the case that was made was, if it does, then we know that it's because a lot of our police are moving and living in Oak Lawn, which is a good thing.
So it's $6,500 towards closing costs and update
No, it's one.
one time.
That was one time, that's what it used to be. Under this new contract, we removed that $6,500 one-time reimbursement for moving into the village for closing costs. This is now changed to up to $8,000 of tax rebate.
Every year. Wow, that's great.
Rebated, yeah.
Is there a maximum age limit for the?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
How far do you have to run?
If I could just comment. Was suggesting that, as a policeman that was here when we had residency and was a policeman here when we lifted residency, I saw that we always maintained a professional police department, no matter where everybody lived. But I want to just say that when a crime occurred in my neighborhood, it was my neighborhood, I had a personal interest in it. I'd like to think I went a little bit harder. But that isn't to throw any mud on the guys that live out of the community, because we have a great police department. But if we can bring guys back where I know their wives, they know their wives, kids go to school together, we create a better sense of camaraderie in a very difficult job. So I think it's a great idea.
And if
All
it,
right.
if it makes a difference in, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 police officers deciding to live here, that's better for us as a community. So, I believe in this.
I agree with you. All right, we take a vote on that. Call the roll, please.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Soch.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Mallo.
Yes.
Motion passes. Village Clerk's report.
Disbursement Resolution Number 2023-19D dated November 14th, 2023, in the amount of $10,983,773.75.
Motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Soch.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Mallo.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion. Village President's report. I think I've said everything I need to say, thanks to the help of my fellow trustees. Okay. All right, now we're going to move on to executive session 2023-12 for the purpose of discussing, 1, the board meeting minutes of 2023-11 dated September 26, 2023, and 2, of the setting of the price for the sale of property owned by the public body. That ends our public portion of the meeting.
We take a
Okay, I
motion to
appreciate you
adjourn?
guys coming out.
So moved.
Thank you. Oh, I need a motion to go in.
So moved.
Sorry.
Second.
Okay. Motion.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Soch.
Yes.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Mallo.
And again, I said everything I needed to say. Thanks for coming out.
So just give him the 10.